Welcome to Second Run Reels. My name is Ken. I'm going to be your host, as well as...
My name is Jeff.
Hey, what's up? My name's Dale.
And our special guest today is...
My name is Alex.
And Second Run Reels, this is our first episode. Basically, what we're just going to be talking about today is movie news, and then we have a review of the new Predator movie in the second hour. So be sure to stick around for that. Jeff, why don't you start with the news?
Alright, so first in the news, we are going to be talking about the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. There have been quite a few videos that have come up over the last week showing Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. There was a concept trailer that showed him going from Joaquin Phoenix to the Joker. Then a few days later there was a leaked video of him talking to a clown in street clothes. A few days after that there was another one of a bunch of clowns coming off of a train and he was there. And then the final one that leaked, I believe yesterday, was him in a phone booth. So every other day there seems to be a new leak. I think it's just kind of trying to have everyone feel safe about this new Joker rather than the whole Jared Leto. So what do you guys think about that?
My problem is, why are they releasing so many things already? Like they're not leaving anything up to the imagination. When I go see a movie, I like to be a little surprised. I feel like by the time it comes out, that the entire thing's already going to be basically shown through these pictures and everything.
Well, the thing is, it's just like a small little clip it, like a behind-the-scenes thing. There's no audio to it. It's just him there. So I think it's like intentional leaks just to get people hyped.
I mean, yeah, I think it's definitely intentional, but they keep... I don't know, it's like they keep doing it. It's cool, but
It's still really weird though, because I know that they didn't really do that for any other DC movies, did they? No,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, it's really weird. I don't know if we should trust it though, because isn't there a theory going around saying that it's actually a ploy for the new movie with, is it going to be Leto and
That's what?
Yeah, because
that's a thing.
Yeah. There's a theory going around that it's just a cover up, right? For
I haven't heard that.
You haven't heard that? No. Well, it's just a cover up, and what they're actually doing is doing the Harley Quinn relationship movie with Leto and Margot Robbie.
Oh, okay.
Well, isn't the theory that Leto is was it Jason Todd? He's that Joker, so they're gonna bring in Joaquin Phoenix, which is the actual Joker. So maybe that could play into whatever theory they're gonna say. Psych, he's in this.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really stupid though.
Well, actually, in our next news story, we're talking about the whole Jared Leto Joker thing, because they have a whole spin-off movie just for him. So, I guess after the Joaquin Phoenix one, they're going to have a Jared Leto standalone Joker movie.
It's really confusing. I don't know exactly why they want to do that.
Like they're gonna start milking the Joker like they're milking Star Wars with Disney.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're definitely doing that. I
Yeah.
don't think DC even knows where it's going anymore.
They're going off of the Heath Ledger nostalgia.
Yeah, because Joaquin Phoenix, his definitely looks a lot like Heath Ledger's, like the hair and the suit, kind of.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like he's his own Joker, really.
I mean,
he does, from just the pictures. We don't know, of course, but just from the pictures,
yeah.
I don't know.
But I mean, Joaquin's a really, really fantastic
Yeah,
actor, though.
I read in an interview with Joaquin Phoenix that he's basically saying that he doesn't care what people think about his Joker interpretation. He's just going to play it how he thinks it needs to be played. So, I don't know.
I mean, he has enough credibility though to say that.
Yeah.
To kind of say, just trust me on this.
Yeah. The good thing though about the intentional leaks by DC is that you can get a sense of how he is acting in those little snippets, and it is very different from what Heath Ledger's was, because Heath Ledger's was psychotic, it was very smart, it was very philosophical, and he carried himself in a different way. He'd walk around all crotchety kinda, and in Joaquin's videos you can see that it's very different. It's like it's very normal, kind of.
What do you mean by normal?
Like when he walks around and stuff, it's not as it's
Like
not identical.
It's not like
Heath Ledger's.
like really eccentric kind of.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like he just seems like some guy who has clown makeup on who's walking around in a suit. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, we'll see what happens with that. So.
I read that I think his origin's gonna be more revolving around the Killing Joke. If you guys read that, it's just gonna be mainly he had a bad day and he just snapped. So I can kind of see that in him. It just looks like a guy that's already on edge.
Right. I mean, it definitely looks. At least his costume gives me a little bit of hope, and the fact that he's Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, he's Joaquin motherfucking Phoenix.
Yeah. Like, you're not gonna get Jared Leto, which is great because Jared Leto's was fucking awful.
But then you have to also look at who's directing it. The guy who made The Hangovers. Okay, sure.
Yeah, I don't know. DC likes shooting themselves in the foot all the time. Like,
is it like officially DC like movie? Like,
well,
is it part of their like universe?
Yeah.
It is part of the universe.
Yeah.
It might be like a Logan-esque type thing where it's like part of the universe, but not really.
Kinda, yeah.
Because should I just go into the next news story? Kind of like connects.
Yeah, go ahead.
So like, DC is going along with their DC universe thing, but like, basically they announced this movie called Birds of Prey, which have to do with a bunch of different villains in Gotham and stuff. And apparently Mary Elizabeth Winstead is in it, and they have the original Harley Quinn chick. What was her name? Margot Robbie. Yeah. So they have her coming back, and it's supposed to be just like a Suicide Squad type thing, but with chicks. And
I guess they didn't learn their lesson the first time.
But after that, they have a solo Jared Leto Joker movie and another Suicide Squad movie, and then after that, they have that Harley Quinn Joker film where they kidnap Dr. Phil and they pretty much have him tell him about like their bad relationship and such.
Sounds like a version of Scary Movie. Was it 4 where Dr. Phil's in it?
I have no
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, but like that's just like the villain side of the DC universe that they're going with, and I don't even know where they're going with the superhero side of it. But it's
I think Aquaman is their last.
Well, yeah,
like one where they tried.
Yeah, because they're trying to like reboot it, aren't they? They get rid of Henry Cavill or something like that? Yeah, and then they're
Michael
trying to get
Jordan.
They're trying to get rid of
Hell yeah.
Freaking Ben Affleck now.
Didn't he leave? I thought he left already.
Did he leave?
Yeah, because weren't they making a standalone Batman movie, and then he just left?
Oh yeah, that's right.
It just deteriorated. He was writing it, and then he wasn't, and then he's like, I don't want to be Batman anymore.
Oh wow, so that happened a long time ago.
He got so sick of that role. Like you could there's like interviews where it looks like he wants to cry.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
It's like the best thing.
I mean, like DC's movies are just like fucking awful, and the same thing with their shows. Like people like to make the argument that their shows are better than Marvel, but at this point they're not. You know, like the CW fucking shows are just like melodramatic fucking daytime dramas.
What do they even have? They have like Green Arrow, Gotham,
and then they have Heroes of Tomorrow or something like that. Legends of Tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And then they have The Flash.
And aren't they making like Teen Titans a TV show?
Oh yeah,
that's why their subscription service.
That looks terrible.
Yeah,
holy shit,
absolutely awful.
They're doing the Teen Titans and Swamp Thing.
Oh yeah,
Swamp Thing might be interesting, but the way that DC does anything, like it doesn't even fucking matter. Like the whole thing is that DC doesn't really know how to pick like a director that actually gives a shit other than like Christopher Nolan, because like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you know, you have people who know the comics, and that's why like Infinity War was so good. It's because they knew all the values of the heroes and whatnot. In DC, you don't get that. You know, like I fucking hated Superman for the longest time until I actually watched a video on YouTube, and it changed my mind because of the way that DC let their heroes be presented. You know, like I thought that that Superman is just this god that just doesn't give a shit about anyone. But if you actually take the time to go into the comics, he cares about people. Like you know, he talks to kids and he considers his home Earth, not where he came from. You know, Krypton or So I think it's a problem with the people that they're getting.
It's like the executives are just a bunch of old guys in a room, and they're just like, "Hey, what do you think the kids are into today?"
Yeah.
And then they say, "We need to do something with technology," and they're like, "Yeah," and they like high five at the end. Sounds something really bad like that. What?
I was gonna ask who is directing the. Is it the same one that made Suicide Squad? Like those following films?
Oh, for the Harley Quinn one?
Yeah.
I have no clue who's directing it. I think there was a name in the article I read, but I didn't know who it was. But anyways, yeah, they apparently have a script for the Harley Quinn Joker movie, and they presented it to everyone at Warner Brothers, and they were like, "Yeah, this is great."
They said that for all of them.
They basically like apparently everyone loved the script, and they're trying to fit it into the DC timeline somewhere to fit into their movie schedule and stuff like that. But it's going to come after this Birds of Prey standalone Jared Leto movie and Suicide Squad 2.
Who knows? This could be the new era of DC films, guys.
I guess.
Who is everyone? Who is this everyone?
I don't know everyone. Not us, but everyone else.
Wow.
I don't like how they're making a second Suicide Squad. The first one was terrible. I don't understand how it fucking won an Oscar. Like, that's so crazy to me.
Won an Oscar?
Yeah, it won an Oscar for makeup and costuming.
Isn't that kind of like...
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's
Oscar-winning movie.
It's just all the cringe lords that wanted it. Like, this is the only people who really like that movie.
Yeah, I describe it as... Whenever I describe it, it's Hot Topic the movie. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what it is. You got a fucking... you got Margot Robbie with a choker that says pudding on it, and these, like, low-cut clothes and all this shit. It's just...
The Joker has the words damaged on his forehead.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
That was my favorite part of the movie.
Shut up.
Oh my god. And, like, his costume's just stupid. He's
It's
like...
just pants.
Yeah, it's just pants. It's pants and maybe a jacket.
You don't like pants?
And, like, metal teeth.
They try to be trendy.
Yeah.
Gotta be hip. Those old guys are trying to be hip with the kids.
Yeah, they're like, oh, they like Lil Xan.
Let's book them,
Yeah. They got the fucking, like, superheroes looking like that one dude, 6'9", got fucking crayon in his face and rainbow hair.
That was their inspiration.
I think the people that benefited the most were Halloween Time, Halloween City, all those places.
Oh, yeah.
I saw so many Harley Quinns and Jokers.
Still so many Suicide Squad costumes in there. I went into like 2 different Halloween stores the other day, and it was just like, wow, this is still a thing. And then I saw a little girl, like, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8, with the Harley Quinn jacket, this really shiny velvet one that said something about the pudding, or I can't wait to get my pudding on the back, or something like that.
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus!
Like Daddy's Little Monster.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, it was just like, oh my god, like
we've come a long
way. Like they went to like a clothing store or somewhere that makes like really stupid like text T-shirts. Like I'm a cool dad or some stupid shit like that. No, please just make us something.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Wow, I feel great.
Let's move on, because that was fucking terrible. I hate Suicide Squad.
Alrighty then. Well, Bob Iger, if that's how you say his name, I guess he's the CEO of Disney. He says that quote unquote too much too fast. So basically, Disney's going to scale back on the Star Wars movies. After the failure of Solo and, of course, the failure of The Last Jedi. They didn't say it was because of the failure of Last Jedi. They're still trying to keep that up in the top tier.
Last Jedi.
But they're blaming it all on Solo, which I heard wasn't actually that bad. But basically, when Disney first got the rights to Star Wars back in 2012, which, by the way, did you guys know that it landed on the exact date of the end of the world, apparently?
What did?
The end of the Mayan calendar was
What?
the day that Disney bought Star Wars.
Oh,
That's fucking
my
Yeah, so the
God.
Mayans were Star Wars fans. Anyways,
Oh, wow.
so, yeah.
The more
So,
you know.
when they announced that they had bought Star Wars, they said that they were going to make one Star Wars movie a year for the next 40 years. They had a plan laid out.
40 years?
40 years. So that's what we were getting when they started with Force Awakens. But I guess they're going to scale back now, and they're going to focus more on the ending this trilogy. And they're going to focus on the next trilogy, which was given to the Game of Thrones creators, whose names escape me. But the two guys, the producers on the show.
So wait, is Ryan Johnson no longer getting his trilogy?
There was no comments on the Rian Johnson trilogy, the Jon Favreau trilogy, or the standalone Boba Fett movie and the Obi-Wan movie, but apparently they're still going to happen somewhere down the line.
I didn't even know Jon Favreau.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was going to say, like, I had no
They-
idea that was a thing.
Yeah, because when they announced these trilogies, they announced like 3 or 4 different trilogies,
Yeah,
all in
why?
like the span of 2 days, and it was like caught up with the whole Rian Johnson thing, and like I totally forgot that they gave the trilogies to the Game of Thrones guys, like because I was like, oh, Jon Favreau, like he'll probably do a good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of those are kind of up in the air right now, I suppose. They might do them later down the line. They might not, because we heard that the Boba Fett and the Obi-Wan were totally canceled, but I guess from this statement, they're still somewhat in the works.
Right.
I just want to say that I don't think anybody's going to be complaining, because I feel like everybody at this point is just like so burnt out on Star Wars, which is something I never wanted to say, I never thought I would say, but like, I don't know, just releasing a Star Wars movie every single year, and with them it's seemingly getting worse each time. It's just, they need to...
Assassin's Creed of movies.
Yeah, it's turning into that. Like, I don't want to hate Star Wars, because that's one of my favorite shows, but like, they're turning it into that.
Yeah, like, God.
I honestly thought that Star
Last
Wars was
Jedi.
going to last at least 10 years before people got done with
Really?
it.
10 years?
Yeah,
I was
like
thinking
after
5.
they announced 40 years, I was like, yeah, they could go for 10 years before people are tired of it. But like after Last Jedi, that killed so many people off. Even myself, like I didn't even go see Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, did you guys hear the rumor that apparently they're going to split episode
Mhm.
Yeah.
10 into 2 parts?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, or
didn't
episode
know that.
9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, so apparently, like, Rian Johnson fucked up Last Jedi so much that they don't even know how to fix the story where he left it, and there were so many plot holes that J.J. Abrams had to, I guess, write a super crazy long script, and they might split it into 2 movies.
Is that how they phrased it? Like, they said there was too many plot holes. Like, they
Yeah,
actually... They said that.
Yeah, it was said that in the
Oh
whole
my
rumor
God.
thing, like, that there were too many plot holes in the movie, so they might split up episode 9 into 2 parts.
Well, shit.
That Friday morning after opening night of Last Jedi, I saw that J.J. Abrams, like, I guess, like was in a rush to get to, I guess Disney, whoever's in charge, and he gave them a script already for episode 9. Like, he was like, nah, you gotta see this. So maybe that's why he's trying to make it into 2 parts. But, like, he's like, we need to work on this now. I want as much time as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, God, I can go on for years about The Last Jedi. Like, I mean, I fucking love Star Wars. I have a Star Wars tattoo. I have a Boba Fett helmet as a tattoo, you know? And, like, it's not that, like, there were some things in that movie that were okay. Like, the theme of it, dealing with failure, like, that's a good thing to have, but he fucked it up, you know? Like, it's just, like, so full of awful things that
It could have been easily fixed.
yeah, exactly. You know, like, the whole casino scene, that didn't need to fucking happen. But, you know, like I said, there are a few things that are okay about it. Like, the hyperspace scene.
Oh, the space death? Yeah, that was cool.
But, yeah.
I also really liked the Yoda stuff. Everyone was upset about that because they're like, Yoda's not funny, and I'm like, watch Empire Strikes Back, you fucking noob.
Yeah.
But like the themes and everything that happened in that movie was fine. Like, it could have been written and been a good movie, but the way that he did it was just terrible. Like the scene where you see like shirtless Ben Solo, the Kylo Ren guy, that was only in there because he wanted to show that Rey could see him through the visions or whatnot. Because apparently they established that you couldn't see anybody in these vision things. So that was his way of establishing that.
I just want to say that even if you like Last Jedi, I think the one thing that you can't debate is it's a bad movie because it ruined the fan base of Star Wars. Like, it literally split everyone in half. Like, even if you think it's a good movie, it's a bad movie because it ruined the spirit of Star Wars. And just for that fact alone,
However, it brought the prequel fans and the original trilogy fans together.
I guess it's something. Yeah. Okay, I didn't think about that, but still, they kind of ruined everyone in a sense with that.
I don't have a problem with people liking The Last Jedi. Sure, you can like it, that's fine. You just have to agree that it's fucking awful as a movie. Like, as how a movie works, it is terrible. You can like it, I don't give a shit, that's fine. You just have to admit that as a working film, it does not at all it doesn't do its job. Am I right?
Yeah. How does the Last Jedi debate always happen? Like whenever it's mentioned, you just go off. You have to go off everyone has to go off for 30 minutes about why they hate it.
It's easily something that could be debated. Everyone has such a wildly different opinion on it. It's crazy.
That's why I hate it.
Like, people say, I've heard people say, originally when Empire came out, that no one thought it was, that good, that was an okay movie, whatever. And then they're saying that The Last Jedi is kind of going to be like Empire, where down the line people are going to simmer down about it. I don't think that's true, because I'm going to compare it to what I heard some random dude say about Valerian one time. I was coming out of the theater, and Valerian was a terrible movie, and I heard a guy go, watch, in a few years it's going to be a cult classic. And I was in my head just like, no, it's not. It's not going to fucking do that.
People were saying that. They were comparing Valerian to 2001 A Space Odyssey.
Okay.
No.
They were saying that basically 2001 when it came out, it was hated by everyone, and it only gained traction after a number of years.
I think this is a little bit different of a situation.
Valerian was wow, it's the next 2001. And I heard people saying that, and I'm like,
it's such bullshit.
Okay, I guess. I mean,
that's one way to think about it.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm sure Dane DeHaan's a really nice dude in real life, but whenever I see him in a movie, it immediately turns me off. He was terrible in The Amazing Spider-Man, terrible in Valerian, and that's all I there might have been something else I've seen him in.
Chronicle was okay, but you guys see A Cure for Wellness?
No, that looked bad.
That was a bad movie.
I
thought it looked really cool from the trailers because it had that crazy ambiance and stuff, but it was so repetitive.
It looked edgy.
It was just bad. And the ending was oh yeah, I'm a 300-year-old reptilian man who's using the essence of these mental patients to stay alive. Yeah, it was
what the
something retarded. My God, I had to stop the movie multiple times so I could go do something else. And when I came back, I was didn't I just watch this part? Because it repeated itself so many times. It was just boring as hell. But anyways,
yeah. So, okay, we talked about The Last Jedi and whatnot. Let's talk about Solo, because, I think that, I didn't watch it because of The Last Jedi, but I think, I feel bad for Ron Howard, and whoever worked on that movie, because it basically got trashed because Last Jedi was so bad.
Yeah.
That's why it was a failure. It wasn't a failure because, again, I didn't see it, but I don't think it probably wasn't that bad.
Wait, who actually saw it here? Okay, so me and Alex are the only ones who've seen it.
I've seen parts. of it.
It's not a bad movie, and that's the sad part. Like it's like everyone hates it because like they don't like the guy they got to play Han Solo, and I don't really either. But like even past that, it's pretty okay. Like it's not.
It's entertaining.
It's entertaining. Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, I think
I would watch it. You know, if I was really bored. You know, I was just like, sure. I wouldn't watch Last Jedi, but you know.
Yeah, from like the parts that I saw, it seemed like a pretty good movie, like a pretty okay movie. But the thing that helped it become a better movie was just pretending that the guy wasn't Han Solo, because he didn't really seem, so like I just thought it's a movie that's set in the Star Wars universe and Chewbacca's in it.
Yeah.
But like, and I was super entertained with it, with all that stuff. I'm like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. And then once like I realized, oh, it's Han Solo, I was like,
So you just have to like pretend he's like his son or something.
Like I want to go back and watch it, but like, I haven't had the time to.
You know, the other thing, like going back to Ryan Johnson though.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because it pertains to the news. He's getting a trilogy, right? Well, I don't like how he handled fans on Twitter. He was really toxic towards them.
What did he do?
He was just like calling out people.
Very arrogant about it.
Yeah. But also at the same time, you know, there's a difference, because there were people who were being like really racist towards the Asian actress who's in it, who played Rose. You know, like, and that's really awful. You know, because like she herself, she doesn't seem like she's that bad of an actress. It's just the character was terrible because of Ryan Johnson, and and like it's just not fair, you know.
Well, like that happened with Hayden Christensen, and also happened with the actor who did Jar Jar Binks, and like all kinds of other people. Just like, I think in general, and a lot of people are gonna hate me for this, but like I think the Star Wars fan base is just the most toxic of the fan bases.
It can
just
be.
because they get so aggressive about things, and it's like their way is the only way, and if you like even splinter off from the original trilogy a little bit, you will get like death threats and stuff, and I think that's a terrible thing. Like, I'm not even that big of a Star Wars fan. Like, it's a movie that I'll watch, but I'm not like, Jesus Christ, I gotta watch Star Wars, you know. And I just think that's like, it's a hard thing to direct a Star Wars movie and appease people, and to even be in a Star Wars movie and appease people. But like, I mean, there's a difference between like playing Jar Jar and being Ryan Johnson. So
yeah,
you know.
Is there, Jeff? Is there a difference?
No, like Jar Jar's fine. Like, I never had a problem with him. I like that whole theory that he's a Sith Lord and stuff. That could be cool.
He's the best part of Star Wars.
Yeah, like I'd be okay to see him back, but like.
Yeah, like I found out like a few years back that he was hated. Like I didn't even know he was a problem.
Like he was like gonna commit suicide and stuff. Like that's how bad it got.
Yeah. Like, it's the Star Wars fans are, oh god, Star Wars fans are terrible sometimes. Yeah. You know, like they didn't have to go on and like be racist towards
Kelly Marie Tran.
Yeah, Kelly Marie Tran. Like she seems like a very nice person, and you know, she tried her best. Yeah. You know, her performance wasn't that bad. It was a little wonky, but that's again Ryan Johnson's fault. But they're like putting their anger towards someone else, you know, and you know, what they really should be focused on is not like her as a person, rather the story, because that's where all the problems are.
The writing.
Yeah, the writing.
Well, I think it's time to move off of Star Wars, because we've spent like 20 minutes on it.
Yeah, we've already lost like half of our base right now listening.
Shut the fuck.
Yeah. Like, I love Last Jedi. I love Star Wars. So let's go on to the next big thing. Let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Alright, guys. So apparently there was an interview done with Sean Gunn, who is James Gunn's brother, who also plays Kraglin, and he's the stand-in for the actual Rocket Raccoon overlay thing. So they had an interview with him, basically asking him about the future of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and Avengers 4, and how all that's going to go. And basically he came out and said that Disney has pretty much put Guardians 3 on hiatus until they can figure everything out, make sure that it goes in a good direction where, you know, like, whereas it would be directed by James Gunn, but they are apparently going to use James Gunn's script, which was the main worry for the entire fan base and especially all the actors that were playing it, especially like Dave Bautista. But apparently we're going to get that script because he turned it in like maybe 3 days before he got fired. James Gunn.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
It's still like a stupid situation though, you know, because those tweets that he made were 10 years old.
Yeah.
10 years
You gotta
old.
admit though.
No, they were terrible. They were
pretty
terrible.
bad.
Yeah, like I mean, obviously he meant them as a joke, but they just weren't funny, so they came off tasteless.
Like, they were really
you know,
bad.
and and they were really bad jokes. But again, you know, he did grow over time. You know, he even said he thought like his special thing was being like edging stuff when really it wasn't. So you know that's how he got Guardians and stuff. And I think Disney's just damage controlling. I think if they really cared, they wouldn't have hired him in the first place if they saw those.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't see how they could how could they just get rid of the guy who's been leading like half of their success with their movies, you know? Like I don't understand the thought like he I get it if he made like maybe one movie, but he's James Gunn. Like he's what, Jeff?
Yeah, he was like intensely pivotal to the whole cosmic universe that they were going to go right after Avengers 4, and he's like a big producer on all the Avengers films, like Infinity War and the next one. So it's crazy that they would just like do that, especially because they have so many people who are like convicted of all these things. Like apparently Josh Brolin was like convicted of beating his wife or something like that, and went to trial and everything.
Really?
But Josh Brolin's cool.
Like all the controversy with like
but when did that
Johnny
happen?
Depp and everything too. Happened like a number of years ago.
Oh, okay.
But like the Johnny Depp stuff that happened within the last few years before, that's what kept Pirates 5 from happening so long.
Right. But they like to forget their own past too. Like
Song of the South.
Walt Disney, Song of the South. Walt Disney himself was an anti-Semite, wasn't he? Like, he was a huge anti-Semite, and Song of the South happened, and it was just terrible. Those things, and it's not fair to have that, and then hide it just to like turn around and like fuck some other dude who reconciled with his past and said, look, this is wrong. Yes, I said it, but I'm going to get rid of it, and then just to fuck him over like that. It's terrible.
Yeah. You're like selectively deciding what's moral.
And the thing is, it was Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy 2 were both really fun movies. They're great movies. They're better. The better half of the better parts of the Marvel movies.
My favorite Marvel movies.
Yeah,
Out of all of them, I think they're my top 2 favorites.
Yeah, like the only other Marvel movies that I really like other than Guardians is Infinity War, Spider-Man: Homecoming, and
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, Thor Ragnarok. Yeah.
What about Thor 2?
Thor 2: The Dark World.
That was the best one.
Nope.
No, yeah. So I mean,
I didn't even see Thor 2.
It's just, and you said that they wanted to direct it as if James Gunn was directing it, right?
Well, they just want to find the right person who would, best replace.
They're gonna
James
want
Gunn.
someone that just copies him, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know that.
Well, as long as they use the script.
Yeah, that's
I'm
the main
fine.
part.
But
they can still fuck it up.
yeah,
pretty
like
bad.
direction is really important.
Like the actors could be, they won't know how to act. And everything could just look stilted and weird. Or there's a million things that could go wrong. But let's have that benefit of doubt that it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I mean
I don't know.
We'll see what happens. I want it to be good. I really do.
Yeah.
But it 100% will not be the same without James Gunn. Because it's his creation. It's all of his idea, or at least a lot of it is his idea, and it's hard to replicate that. With someone else. You can't just copy someone's style. Like it's really hard to do that.
who knows? Maybe one day Disney will just be like, we can't find a director, James Gunn. We forgive you, and they'll just give him it all back, and he'll become.
They'll just get Steven Spielberg to do
Yeah,
it.
they'll get Steven Spielberg.
No, they're too big of a company to do that to themselves.
Yeah.
No, they could just say shit and other shit will happen because they're really good at keeping tight lips. Like, you know, they're really great at keeping secrets because you don't really know shit about movies that are coming out now. Like, in terms of, like, The Last Jedi and all the Marvel movies, Infinity War, you know, you don't really know a lot about them. So they're really good at keeping secrets. So
Yeah, leaks don't really happen.
no,
Out
yeah.
of them.
Who knows? Maybe they're just, like, publicly saying James Gunn's fired, but they're gonna have him do it and just put someone else's name.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. They do weird things nowadays. But let's move on to the next story.
Yeah.
So what we got, Jeff?
Okay, so let's do a shorter one to kind of transition into the next longer one. I don't want to do a bunch of long ones.
Yeah.
So crap, hold on. Zendaya as the Little Mermaid. So apparently there was this rumor.
Okay. This is the story.
Yeah, this is the story. I just picked one. So apparently there was this rumor that was going around the internet because they've been trying to do this live action Little Mermaid for a while, and they were originally going to go with Chloe Grace Moretz,
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah, from Kick-Ass. But I guess this internet rumor started saying that Zendaya was going to do it recently. So someone asked her about it, and she was like, "Yeah, I'll do it if they do. Tell me." So what do you guys think about that? What would you think about a Zendaya Little Mermaid?
They were telling her to say that, and she's gonna do it.
That's the whole thing, though, right? It's just a rumor. Now everyone's freaking out.
Yeah. Everyone, that's the thing. Like, because the reason I clicked on this article is like, oh, she was cast as Little Mermaid, and I was like, okay, so I clicked it, and it's like, yeah, it was just an internet rumor, and they asked her about it, and she said, sure, why not? And then Smallfoot, and I was like, oh, well, that's it. And I guess I'll put that on there. We can talk about that.
I mean, I'm not a diehard Little Mermaid fan, and
What?
I mean, I like the movie, but to me, like if it's Zendaya, like I'm not gonna flip a table over it. I'm gonna be like, oh, cool, Little Mermaid movie.
Could you see her with a red wig on? You think?
I mean,
Probably just dye her hair.
Yeah.
Not at all, maybe.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna go watch it. I'm not a huge fan of Disney films. You know, I mean, I like Pixar films, but like Disney, like The Little Mermaid, I'm not super interested in. You know, the only Disney movies animated that I like that they made, like older ones, is I know Princess and the Frog isn't that old, but Princess and the Frog I like a lot, and then Snow White I like a lot.
You're a communist.
But other than that,
those are the two movies.
What about Lion King?
They have so many good movies.
I haven't seen Lion King.
Atlantis.
You haven't seen any Disney movies, so then you hate
Treasure Planet?
them all.
Underrated.
Treasure Planet.
Underrated.
Oh,
I think I saw it.
about
like
Wally. Wally. Come
That's
on.
Pixar.
He said he likes Pixar.
Yeah,
Oh,
I said I like
shit.
Pixar movies.
Okay.
I know they're like a branch of Disney, but they're not specifically like Disney. You
I'll
know?
pull up a list later and yell at you about it.
Yeah.
What else do you got for us?
All right, so we'll go with another short one, or maybe it'll be short. But Hellboy,
Ooh.
the new Hellboy with what's his head?
David Harbour.
Yeah, has been delayed from a January 11th, 2019 release to an April 12th, 2019.
Fuck.
And there's no word as to why it was released or pushed back. So
Was that 4 months?
Theories.
yeah. So what the article was saying was basically that apparently people scheduled movies in January if they feel that they're not going to be very successful, because afterwards, after the Christmas, bonanza of blockbusters, that kind of fatigues January. So they moved it to April to kind of contend with the bigger blockbuster pre-summer movies. So maybe they thought that it wasn't going to be that good, but they took a look at it and they said, well, we actually got something here. And then they moved it up to this more
More positive date.
Yeah. So that was what the article said, but there was no actual definitive reason for why they pushed it back.
Well, I mean, that's cool. I like Hellboy. I think he's a really cool character. I like all the characters in Hellboy. But that's interesting. I think moving on from Ron Perlman to what's his name?
David Harbour.
David Harbour.
I like it.
The guy from
Yeah, I
Stranger
think
I
Things.
think he's like in the pictures of him in the makeup, like he is Hellboy. Like I
Yeah, it
am,
was really good.
I
Like-
am satisfied with him as Hellboy.
Like the thing is, like Ron Perlman, yeah, he looks good as Hellboy, but when you see Harbour on the as Hellboy, he looks like the Hellboy from the comic.
Yeah, he looks. I feel like the prosthetics are a little bit better.
Yeah, like the like just body proportion size too.
Yeah, makes a little more sense.
Yeah, because Ron Perlman was like beefy, and in the comic he's not like super.
Yeah, so he
Stubborn.
can't like. It looked like you couldn't like move as much. He's just like.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah.
I don't know. I've just seen the picture and I'm already hyped for it.
Wait, who's the director for it? Is it Guillermo? It's not Guillermo.
No, it's not Guillermo.
Oh
del
my
Toro.
god.
That would be
Because
so
Guillermo's
great.
condition was to have Ron Perlman in it.
Oh, that was his
Right.
condition.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And they've been trying to get it since Hellboy 2 came out.
So he's against this movie.
There's a huge divide for it already.
Yeah, there's like Ron Perlman's kind of like been saying stuff about it. He said a few things and then he's going to keep quiet. I don't think if Guillermo's said anything about it, but I'm sure he's disappointed since he's been pushing for it for a long time. Like I said, since the second one came out.
Yeah, there's like the fan base already saying like Perlman or we're out. So
Jeez.
I like the picture. I like how he looks,
I
but
mean, David Harbour's cool.
Yeah, he's great in Stranger Things.
You gotta be open to new things, or you're not gonna experience anything.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, a trailer hasn't even dropped yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, we can't even.
It's just
judge it
it
off
was
of
just
that.
like
Yeah.
a handful. It was just like, wasn't it one picture? Or was
One.
it was one picture.
Yeah, one singular picture, and they think that the trailer is going to drop within the next few weeks because of New York Comic Con,
Oh, that's really cool.
which would probably be smart. So we'll probably be talking about Hellboy again on
Yeah.
the show.
It'll be.
And speaking of trailer drops, Dark Phoenix dropped just today or yesterday, was it?
This morning.
This morning, yeah.
I still didn't watch it.
You haven't seen it.
I
Us
haven't
three
seen
have.
it.
So,
You
Alex,
guys
what do you
can-
think about it?
Nothing wowed me. I think it's just the knowing that Disney now has X-Men back. I don't really care anymore for this.
I think it's not going to matter at all because they're just going to reboot it.
Yeah, I mean this is the last one of that group. So I mean that kind of biased my opinion already on it, but I didn't really care for it. I didn't see enough.
Well, Dark Phoenix itself, like that one's still Fox
Yeah.
one, yeah. But like you're saying, like after Dark Phoenix, it's kind of gonna fizzle out.
No, like now knowing that this is the last one from Fox,
Uh-huh.
and knowing that Disney's gonna do, I'm more excited already for what Disney's
Oh,
gonna do with
okay,
it.
okay,
So
okay.
I don't care for this one anymore
Mm-hmm.
because I love X-Men, and Fox was the only thing giving me X-Men. So I was excited. I was like, oh no, but First Class is good. Days of Future Past. But like now that Disney has it, I'm like, I don't care anymore.
Because I haven't seen the trailer yet. Is it this? Which cast? Is it like the younger? Is it the
It's
same?
It's the younger
Yeah, it's
ones.
the First Class.
James
First Class.
McAvoy.
They have all of them. Like
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender.
no weird casting changes like with
No.
like Queen Latifah Storm or something.
No.
That's
No.
it's the same people from Apocalypse and
Okay.
First
Yeah,
Class and all that.
Oh, cool.
What do you think of it, Joe?
I'm kind of on the fence about it. The trailer didn't look bad. It looked like it was trying to go for the more darker side of everything, which it's always fun. But I'm not really having high hopes for it because of the cast member stories and the crew stories that have come out about it.
What
Basically
stories?
saying that they basically say that like it's probably going to be the worst X-Men movie that's ever come out because
The
just
cast
like,
is saying this.
I think there was like one or two cast members.
What were they
If I-
saying?
Like just that the whole movie just was totally unorganized,
Oh no.
and like the same with that New Mutants movie. Like apparently the director didn't even know what he was doing, and he wasn't there half the time, so they had like a ghost director direct the movie.
Oh, nice.
But it's apparently the same with this one, where like basically the whole production of it was just totally messed up from the start. So, yeah, basically based on all that, I don't have high hopes, but it does look okay. So we'll just have to see.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
probably gonna be bad.
Yeah.
I watched the trailer like just before the show today, but yeah, I mean it looks like it's gonna be fun. Like I mean it didn't look like it was gonna be terrible, and I like how it is going to be dark because if you've read Dark Phoenix, it's a really fucked up kind of story. You know, all the X-Men stuff is because it's basically racism towards mutanism, I guess. You know,
Yeah.
but. I don't know. It looks like it'll be fun. Again, it's just one of those things where we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens.
Is it gonna be worse than Apocalypse?
We'll see, because there were people saying that it was worse than Apocalypse.
Worse than that's pretty bad.
Trailer wise, I like it better than Apocalypse already because it doesn't look bad. For me, it's just the excitement died when I.
They just took all the good, like that's probably all the good parts of the movie.
Yeah.
Like just a little bit. The rest of it's just gonna be like vomit on the screen.
Now, what happens if at the end of the credits for Dark Phoenix, Nick Fury shows up, Samuel Jackson, and he's like, "We have a team. We had an idea," and then he's just like, "Whoa!" And then they're now part of the MCU.
Yeah, it goes into Avengers Infinity War 2.
And they're like all like they come in like they replace all the people that died. It's just the X-Men versus Thanos now.
Oh, have you guys seen? Perfect segue. Have you guys seen the trailer for Captain Marvel?
No, I still haven't seen that.
Yeah, I saw it. It looked pretty decent.
You haven't seen that either?
No, I just don't have interest in those. Like they just look bad. Like half the time, like just like another Marvel movie.
Right.
I'm so fatigued, but I'll probably go see it. Honestly,
we'll drag you along.
Yeah, someone will drag me along.
It looked pretty decent though. Like I was watching a couple videos on it. I didn't want to watch too many because I did this thing where I'm not really watching trailers anymore. But they were saying that pretty much they're sticking to exactly what the comics is for Captain Marvel. Like all of her costumes are pretty much straight from the pages, and just like everything that was in the trailer was pretty spot on from what I was seeing. So that should be fun.
Yeah, and Brie Larson's she's a really great actress, and I'm actually excited to see like Samuel Jackson playing Nick Fury, other than just like all the small parts that he's done in the movies.
Actually does something useful.
Yeah.
And they digitally
de-aged him.
And he looks fucking great. It looks great. Like in the trailer, I didn't see anything that like in terms of him that like seemed unnatural or anything. Like it looks really great. They did a good job.
What about the Skrull? How'd you guys like how they looked?
Skrull. Those are the aliens. Right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the first Avengers, so I can't say.
They look fine.
Yeah.
I mean, like I saw a picture of them in the comics, and they kind of look like the Green Goblin. So
Yeah.
they did a good job to like not make them look like the
They're
Green
just
Goblin.
OP Green Goblins, basically.
Yeah. So maybe they have plans for Green Goblin.
What do you think Spider-Man Far From Home is going to be?
I think it'll be a pretty good Marvel movie.
Tom Hardy.
Tom
Oh,
Hardy.
They're gonna sneak Tom
Hardy in.
Tom Hardy comes in as like an old
As
Spider-Man.
Bane. No, he fucking comes in as Bane.
Well,
Spider-Man, what do you
They're gonna cross universe.
Let's cross all of them together into one movie. That's what they need to do.
Who is this spider hero?
Oh, find the button in the darkness. So I found some leaked photos from the new Spider-Man movie, and it shows Spider-Man in a black suit, and everyone's flipping the fuck out because they think it's this symbiote. And
Photoshop?
No, it's not. They think it's like going to be a crossover between Venom and Spider-Man, or that Spider-Man's going to have the symbiote suit.
Does it look like the
Venom.
symbiote suit? Like, can you see it clearly in the picture?
No, it's like super blurry. You just know he's wearing a black suit.
That's fucking cool.
Shit.
But there's been a lot of people saying that it might be one of his stealth suits from the comics.
Yeah.
And like, there's this really cool stealth suit, like I don't that I've seen where it's like black and it has the green, the spider.
Oh yeah.
They had it in the new Spider-Man game, and that's the one that I've been like using the most. But like, they think it's going to be that suit specifically because it played a heavy part in the comics at one point, and like they think it makes sense considering like Mysterio's the villain, the main villain on this one.
So wait, Mysterio's gonna be confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
like they've been
it's Jake
keeping it hush
Gyllenhaal.
hush,
Oh
but it's
yeah,
Jake
that's right,
Gyllenhaal. Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal, Mysterio, those two things together
I'm
That's
excited.
make
Yeah.
a movie I am gonna go watch.
Do you
Yeah.
think actually maybe the black suit, after Infinity War, they're gonna be doing Secret Wars, because
It could be.
he has a black suit. in
Yeah,
Secret
it's the
Wars.
black suit with the blue webs. Yeah, it could totally be that.
That'd be cool.
But like I said, the image doesn't show very much to suggest what suit exactly it is. But everyone's hopping to the black suit because that's the only one they know.
I don't think they'll touch Venom yet.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
well,
Speaking of
is that
Venom.
gonna tie in with Tom Hardy's?
The Venom one, they're keeping it off shot so it doesn't really mingle. But Tom Holland is gonna have some sort of cameo in Venom.
Yeah.
They didn't explain what it is. We'll
Okay.
find out in October, but they're going to keep all of the Spider-Man stuff that Sony has over to Sony to do their individual stuff.
Is anyone else disappointed with how Venom looks like? I mean, it looks like it's gonna be not that good.
It'll probably be better than Spider-Man 3, though. So.
Oh yeah, probably, but
I had low standards. I just wanted to see Venom kill people, but now I'm not gonna see it because they bumped it down to PG-13.
yeah.
Like that movie looks really bad to me.
CGI.
Like I like Tom Hardy. He's decent.
Yeah.
He's not like my favorite, but he's cool.
Yeah.
In that movie, I don't like how he acts as Eddie Brock. Like he seems like wimpy.
Yeah.
Like he's like he lets Venom like have his way with him. He's just like, huh? Like the
I
whole,
guess we're doing this.
I don't like his accent.
yeah, I know his accent's really bugs me.
The CGI, the Venom CGI looks terrible.
Yeah,
too.
that looks pretty bad.
I can't there's got to be some way like you can do practical effects with Venom. There's some way. I think they're just being lazy.
Did you hear the reason why he did the Venom movie?
No,
Because he wanted to do a movie that his son would like his little son.
okay, that's cool.
I mean,
but still,
that kind of makes it.
I mean, that's like noble, but also like I want to see it. I want it to be good.
So he's doing it for his son. He's not doing it more for
You can't just play with that
reasons.
name though.
Yeah, you can't
yeah,
just
yeah.
go, hey, it's for my
Yeah.
son.
Yeah, Venom's next to Thanos for me in terms of my favorite super villains. Venom's a great fucking character, but they fuck him up every time. Like in Spider-Man 3, terrible.
I feel like it's not that hard. Like it's not hard to do a good Venom, but
Yeah.
they fuck it up.
I want a practical version in the movies.
I
of
don't
Venom.
know. I mean, you could do that. but
You
I
totally could. I mean, you just have to figure it out.
feel like nobody knows how to do that kind of thing anymore.
Yeah, say Venom was made by John Carpenter
In the
in
80s.
the 80s. Totally.
Instead of making the Thing, he makes a Venom movie.
Oh, dude, that'd be fucking crazy.
I don't know. I like the Thing too much.
Yeah, like the Thing.
Well, yeah, but looking at the effects from the Thing, say you just paint him black. I mean, Venom. That's pretty close. I mean, it's pretty good.
Kind of.
I mean, it has teeth and shit. So. Yeah, but Venom looks like it will be disappointing. We might get happily surprised.
Let's just set our expectations low, and then when we go and see it and it's okay,
We'll
we'll
have
feel
fun.
great. We'll have
Yeah.
fun.
It looks like an early 2000 superhero movie.
It does.
That's what it does.
It's like the
Fantastic Four or
Yeah.
no, like
Spider-Man.
the original Hulk movie where he's
God, yeah.
neon green.
He's fucking light lemon green.
Ang Lee's Hulk.
Yeah.
He looks like a bright kind of green Sprite bottle with purple pants. That's what, or shorts. That's what he looks
Shrek on roids.
Yeah, that's another thing. I really like how the Hulk doesn't, in the Avengers and stuff, he doesn't have prominent purple pants. They're just slightly purple.
Do they turn purple when he gets big, or is it just me?
I think
I
they
don't know.
turn purple because he's not
It's kinda
always
funny.
wearing purple pants. Yeah, but in those old ones, and especially the 2003 Hulk or something like that, they were extremely purple.
Yeah.
Yes, they were
But now they're just subtly purple or even black.
a little more realistic. I
Yeah,
think no
yeah.
one just walks around I get purple pants.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's not a.
He looks different in every movie.
Yeah, we need a Hulk movie, huh?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Well,
no.
kind of Ragnarok.
No.
Well, they were
I liked Hulk and Ragnarok.
Yeah, but
He was
I mean like a Hulk movie.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what they were gonna do. Thor was gonna have a third movie, and then Hulk was gonna have a Planet Hulk movie, and
Yeah.
that's what they were gonna do.
Planet Hulk would be cool.
Yeah,
Red
and then they
Hulk.
were going to do
It's basically
Avengers.
Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they decided just to mix them both and see how it went, and obviously it went good. So
All right. Well, it looks like this is a good stopping point for the news. I'm going to go ahead and read off our sponsor for today. We are being hosted by Salzer's Video in Ventura, California. Thank you very much, guys, for hosting the podcast here. It is on 5801 Valentine Road. And we have some rentals coming out soon, next Tuesday, which is October 2nd. And we're getting Sicario, Day of the Soldado, The First Purge. We're getting 3 Identical Strangers, Leave No Trace, and it looks like that's all I have for right now. So thank you guys very much for listening. We're going to be getting into our second part where we're going to be reviewing the new Predator movie.
So stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Second Reels podcast. And we're going to be getting into the Predator review. And this is a movie that, Jeff, you have some words about this. How you going to get us started?
I fucking loved this movie.
Yeah.
So much.
Elaborate.
Oh, no, we're just
Going.
gonna go back to okay.
Yeah, keep going.
All right. So this movie was so stupid and over the top, and literally everything that happened was just stupid. But I had so much fun with it. I laughed so much. Like this year, I don't think I've had as much fun with a movie like Predator. Like there have been a lot of bad movies over the past couple years, like Pirates 5, Alien Covenant, all that stuff. Like those were bad movies, and they were really disappointing sequels to the point where it just angered you. But this movie was such a bad sequel that it was just fun to watch. It was so bad, it was fun. So that's why I liked it.
As far as Alien or Predator, I go more towards Predator. So, just to lay it out, if you want a good Predator movie, just pop in number 1 and enjoy it. But this one, and I describe it to people as basically someone took the franchise Predator, gave it to the director, and said, "Just have fun. Here's a lot of money. Just do what you want.
Just have fun.
Yeah, we just want a Predator movie released this day. That's it. Just have fun." And I'm more with Jeff, where I just went in wanting to see Predator kill people. I just want to see Predator action. Based off the trailers, the first one I was like, oh cool, a Predator movie. The second one, there was a lot of jokes. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like this. And then I saw the cast. They were all talking, and they were basically saying that they tried to one-up each other by saying as many lines as they could from past movies. So then it set the tone for me. I'm like, oh, so it's
one of those.
It's one of those.
Yeah.
So then I just want to go see the Predator kill people, and I went in, and that's what I got. And it's what Jeff said was, it's so stupid, but it's fun.
For me, as a movie, it's terrible and I hate it.
Yeah.
But that being said, there are enough stupid things in this movie that I found very enjoyable. But there are a lot of things that I didn't find enjoyable that I was just like, okay, I want it to end. Let's start off fucking with the scene where they're in... Oh, spoilers, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
Obviously.
a lot of spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers, but yes, so in the bus, they're all just fucking talking to each other and doing introductions and whatnot. And what's weird is that when we were discussing this earlier, when we saw it, Jeff and I, he said that there was a cut where they were doing introductions in the bus, and they cut to like something with Olivia Munn, right? And then
No. Back before, like when she was in the dog park.
Right.
I mean, that's when it was.
Oh, that's when it was?
Yeah, it was way in the beginning of the movie.
Okay, didn't it cut during the bus scene too?
Yeah, so they were doing introductions for all these characters, and then they just they finish up the conversation, and then they go to a different scene, and then the next scene they come back to the bus, and the main guy's like, "Oh, so who are you?" Just like they didn't finish up the introductions to the main guy, so they're just like they needed to come back to it, so they just cut it in between scenes because they naturally finished up the conversation. So it was just really weird.
Yeah, that was really weird. Like, generally, when you want to do a film and you're doing introductions, you keep it in one scene and you don't cut back to it. And what's also weird is that like Shane Black directed this movie, and like I really liked the Nice Guys. That movie was great.
Lethal Weapon.
I didn't see that one that he did. Didn't he also do like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So then.
Yeah, he's made good movies.
Yeah.
He's just like,
hold on.
He's like, I'm gonna take a break with this one, just have a, fun time, like you said,
Yeah.
I was in awe of this movie though, like.
Not in the right way though.
Not in a good way, but
how dumb it was.
Yeah, just how dumb it was. Like they had the guy from Moonlight, which I noticed, which was kind of funny. In Moonlight he plays a gay black man in the ghetto, and in this one, like his call sign is Gaylord. I thought that was really like, did they do that on purpose or did they just happen to hire him? And it was just filled with like with really weird shit.
I just put that together.
Yeah. I was like, I that immediately popped up in my head when I was like, what the fuck? And like he constantly smoked cigarettes, like
to the point where it's.
That's the thing. Okay, so that's a thing.
What's the
At
thing?
the end of the movie, when spoilers, he dies. They are on top of this spaceship.
That was a great
And
scene.
the shield comes up and he jumps up and he goes on top of it, right? So he's separated between the main character and himself, right? So he starts bleeding from his mouth and he's like, haha, fuck it. And then he like jumps into the engine of the spaceship.
He says it with a bigger smile.
Yeah. He's like, fuck it. Ah! And then he goes. But, like, okay, so is that because he's going higher into the atmosphere or something like that? Or is that just because he's been smoking cigarettes for the entire movie, so he just randomly got cancer at that specific moment? It was like, fuck it, man.
Going with the logic that this movie follows, I think, Jeff, it's probably the cancer. Like, we can safely say it was the cancer.
Lung cancer. Like, it's just like, what the fuck? He didn't get hit by anything either. Like, he just started bleeding from the mouth. He's like, I'm dead now. And he fucking flies into an engine.
When I saw that, I was like, why? And then it clicked. I'm like, oh wait, he tried to kill himself in the beginning. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, lazy, but I mean, they told you that he's suicidal.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but
that's
like,
alright. He's not afraid to kill himself.
Yeah,
just the blood didn't make any sense.
Speaking of not making any sense, there was that guy with Tourette's. There's a lot of things that don't make sense in this movie, by the way. But that guy with Tourette's, like halfway through the movie, he just suddenly doesn't have Tourette's anymore.
Yeah.
Did they explain that?
Maybe because of the adrenaline, the Tourette's just go away.
Yeah, like how the kid with Asperger's.
We're not getting into
that.
We're not getting into that.
Yeah, that's for later. But like he did this thing with his ears where like the noise was like too loud for him, and then halfway through the movie, it just wasn't.
Yeah, that's
anymore.
true. Yeah. Like you said, he was in the middle of a gunfight, and he was just totally okay with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this guy just randomly didn't have Tourette's for the second half of the movie. And I don't think they explained that. They might have, because they just went over things really quickly.
They didn't explain.
Well, like that other guy who died, the main bad guy, I guess.
What?
The scientist?
Yeah. So like he died randomly because he had that shoulder mount and he looked the wrong way when it fired because someone called to him. But you blink and you miss that.
Yeah. I wondered where he was, and then I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah. And I'm like, what did Olivia Munn say to him?
I was like, wait,
she said.
Did he die?
Yeah,
Is he a traitor or?
Yeah, like I watched like 15 different movie reviews today, like just to kind of get more ideas. And every single person was like, it took me 15 or 20 minutes before I realized that guy had died.
Yeah.
But they just skimmed over it so quickly. So maybe they had that exposition where the dude doesn't have turrets anymore, and there was a reason for it. But they just skimmed over it so quickly that you didn't notice.
No, they probably didn't explain it.
Going back on the guy from Black Panther who died, with the little robot thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like
same guy.
the shoulder mount itself, like it blew his head off. That doesn't make any sense in terms of like why would you make something that would turn with your head and fucking kill yourself? That doesn't make any sense. You think they'd have like a fail safe in there? It'd only turn like this far and shoot. It wouldn't just go with your head and blow it off.
When did he get the shoulder mount?
He got it from the truck, because I guess the truck that they took to the spaceship was also filled with all of the stuff that they had gotten from previous spaceships. So they're just like, here, take this shit, let's arm ourselves and we'll fight the big predator.
I just accepted it. I was just like, all right, he has a cannon on his shoulder, cool.
And like the space stuff specifically, they get Olivia Munn, her character, to do the space stuff. And in the beginning of the movie, the way that she's introduced is she's just in a fucking dog park.
Yeah,
and then that's it.
No, remember the guy walks up to her and she's like, you're a stargazer.
Yeah.
And then she just looks over. She's like, huh?
And
yeah.
then
it just
we'll
cuts.
take your dog, and then it cuts, and it's like,
and it just they're in the secret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The haunted mansion.
Whatever.
Thing.
Yeah.
And then, sorry.
So basically, from what I found out today, there was a thing with Olivia Munn where she found out that one of her co-stars that she was acting with was like a sexual predator or something like that, like a sex offender.
Do you know which one?
I don't remember the guy's name, but
was he in the movie Further?
No, he was just so it was just in that one scene where they basically introduce her character. This guy is like trying to come onto her or something like that.
Yeah, he's hitting on her, yeah.
Yeah, and then basically it shows how tough she is and basically shows that she loves dogs or something like that. But they cut that whole part out of the movie because she brought to light that he was a sex offender and stuff like that. So they cut that whole scene out of the movie. So that's why it just jumps to her standing there, hey, are you a stargazer? And then we'll take your dog. So it sets up the whole relationship with her and the dog predator later in the movie. So it's like, oh, she loves dogs. She's got a predator.
They cut it at the very end. I think he had some incident with the little kid.
Before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I mean, that's fucked, but what they should have done is just done a reshoot really quick.
Well, that's what they didn't have time to do reshoots because they did extensive reshoots on this movie. The whole third act of the movie was not the way it was originally intended.
I want to see how it first was.
The third act of the movie was apparently like I'll get into it. So they had a bunch of friendly predators that come to the planet, and they're like, we need to save humanity. We're gonna fuck up this big predator, and they basically team up with the loony team, and they have tanks and everything, and they basically fight each other and whatnot. The friendly predators, the loony people versus the big predator guy, and that's the whole end of the movie. So
I need that.
Yeah, and like it was supposed to be this big giant thing. And then they were supposed to give this gift, but they changed that too. So, then they had to do reshoots because I guess the studio didn't like it. So they were like, okay, well we'll just film it all at night, and then it's like it's a hunting thing. So then that's what we got.
Did any? I don't know if it was just me, but did any of those like the rejects basically? Did any of them come off as like soldiers to you? Did they sell you out all that they were?
They were all like really, really forced characters. Too. Yeah, like all of Keegan-Michael Key's jokes are just so fucking like.
He was probably my least favorite out of the bunch. Actually, like he was just. It's like he was annoying to watch.
Yeah, like I like Keegan-Michael Key. I love Key and Peele. I love the other shit that he's done. You know, but like this was like they were like try hard, and then that was it. That was
And
like the direction.
He's like, I think I can work with that.
Yeah, he just made a bunch of like your mom jokes at the fucking Tourette's dude, and that was it.
It kind of fit with the movie though.
Oh yeah, I mean like you can put anything and it fit with the movie.
Yeah,
You know.
like anything.
Did you like how it had like subtle like social commentary on things?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They were like, the predators, they're saving us from ourselves because of global warming. We need to stop that.
And
Like that
I
is
was like,
so
okay.
that is so forced. And
Yeah,
that
I was
didn't-
like, all right.
you could
sure.
just snip that out.
And the
Would've been
autism
fine.
is the next
Oh,
level of
oh,
evolution.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like we're gonna give ourselves autism.
Yeah.
So like,
Okay, disclaimer. You know, there's nothing like obviously Asperger's and autism is a very serious subject and affects a lot of people. You know.
Yeah.
But in this sense, you know, we're not saying that Asperger's is funny per se. Rather, the situation itself is so fucking ridiculous. Is that it's absolutely hilarious.
yeah. So basically, they take the plot points of just the predators being trophy hunters
Mm-hmm.
to like, you know, prove themselves worthy to basically they go from planet to planet to, you know, collect the spines of these strong individuals to better themselves.
Yeah.
And I mean that's an okay concept. I mean I guess it adds more.
It makes
to,
sense.
To
They
the
like
thing.
slice the DNA, put it in themselves, and make themselves better.
But I mean
Well.
they're trying to take this kid who has his
Asperger's.
Asperger's in the movie, and that's their key. And I mean like.
That's the next evolution.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense a little bit because like people with Asperger's and mental disabilities, they have those things that they're really good at, but then there's a lot of things that they're not, but they make up for it with those like
Yeah.
there's like one thing, like someone will be really good at math, you know?
Yeah.
So like maybe it makes sense if they try to isolate those things that turn on that heightened intelligence in certain things, but like
Just the idea.
I like how.
but it doesn't quite add up at all.
It's
I
give
like
all the
how
predators-
Olivia Munn's character was like, they're doing the next evolution. It's Asperger's or something like that. And I was just like, okay. I mean,
They're
it's a
gonna-
bunch of predators who want to give themselves Asperger's. Like, oh my.
That's the point
God,
where
yeah.
you know that they
Just
gave
did
up.
not give
They
a shit.
they gave up on the
Yeah,
movie.
like that's like I compare that to like the person who wrote the script saw that like on a fucking article somewhere and just like once they saw it and then they put it in like
Yeah.
say against people who don't vaccinate their kids where there's like 48 papers that prove it doesn't do that, but they find one that's like it gives them autism.
Yeah,
They
they're gonna
did
go
the
for
exact
that
same thing and they just fucking wrote it into the script, you know?
I hope that it was planned to make it stupid and like campy and everything, because like they've even made a lot of jokes about the name itself.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of predators. It's like that's not a predator, that's a hunter. And it's like
Yeah.
I'm like, is this kind of movie okay?
No, they were like, we voted on Predator. That sounds cool. And then they like turn around. And they're like, yeah.
He's
And
like,
they-
fuck you.
fuck yeah. Yeah,
Like
it's
I was like, okay,
stupid.
are we done with this joke? Can
Yeah.
we move on?
yeah.
Keeps going.
Yeah, dude, and
Yeah.
oh my god, the guy from Black Panther, his character is so fucking unlikable. Like, there's nothing, like, all of them are unlikable, but especially him. There's, like, nothing rewarding at all. You know, like, he was just an asshole. That was it.
Yeah, he was just like, give me that predator thing. Give me
Yeah.
that predator thing. Yeah, I know. Like, he knew exactly what was going on the whole time, and then he was just like,
He's just a douche. Man.
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
I like, one of the best points in the movie. You already know what I'm going to say.
Oh,
Jeff.
yeah, the sunglasses.
Yeah, so I don't know if you noticed this, but when at the third act of the movie, when they were going to go into the ship and see what was in it, and they got the kid with Asperger's to open the door, when the black dude, the Black Panther guy, I don't know his name, the Black Panther guy, right? He goes up, right? He doesn't put on his sunglasses, and it's at night. It's nighttime at this point.
Yeah, it's about probably 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
Yeah, he's not wearing any sunglasses or anything. They cut to the next shot, and the door's fucking open, and he has fucking aviator sunglasses on for no reason, right? They step in, he immediately takes them off and puts them away.
No, I didn't
he only,
notice that.
yeah, he only had sunglasses for like 20 seconds or something like that. But it was like, why the fuck? Like, I get it. Like, the sun's out somewhere, but like, why are you gonna have them on for 2 seconds just to take them off? Like, what the hell?
You put them on
It's
to
funny.
take them off.
I mean, like, I guess we remember it. We're
even
talking
remember that.
about
Oh my
it.
god.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things. Like, I was watching it, and then as soon as the doors opened, he had the sunglasses on. My eyes squinted. I was like, "What the fuck?"
What's
Why?
happening?
The part in the theater where everyone just jumped up and went like laughed and everyone just said what was when the little kid was trick or treating, and then he kills that guy that like threw an he threw something
threw,
at
like,
him, right?
Yeah.
Candy
And he
or
kills
something.
him. He walks away. Everyone's like, "What the?"
And the
fuck?
kid's just like, yeah, and he just doesn't give a shit. He's like, I don't fucking
It was
care.
funny. It's like he totally didn't even deserve that treatment either. Like he rung the doorbell once, and then he walked away, and then some dude just fucking goes, "Hey kid, fuck you," and they throw it. Like, what the fuck? There's no point.
And then the kid like just tapes the mask on.
Yeah, it's a heavy metal fucking
Yeah.
alien helmet.
There's like
It's not even good
Scott.
duct
There's
tape.
like painter's tape behind it to keep it on his head.
That was my thought. I'm like, these predators are like really freaking strong. Like their armor is really thick.
Yeah.
And this kid's walking around like nothing.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, fucking duct tape.
Elmer's glue and stuff.
I like how they showed Tremblay, Jacob Tremblay, the little kid, how they showed him to be smart in the beginning, where he just fucking gets chess pieces and he puts them back in order.
No,
I'm like, oh, okay.
But Ken,
He's
you
smart.
gotta understand that he did it to 3 chessboards, not 1, 3.
Not 1, not 2, but 3 chessboards.
No, with that
They're all
scene-
mid-game.
And with
Yeah,
that
they're
scene,
all
I was
mid-game.
like, oh, he's autistic. Wow. And then the bullies come in. They're like, I'm
No,
feeling like
the
Asperger's.
bullies,
I'm
they
like,
just come in.
I was like,
that's what it is.
They're like,
No,
you
but-
have Asperger's.
Yeah, I'm like some Asperger's.
yeah, and I was like, I totally forgot that Asperger's was a condition. And I'm like, why the hell are you saying you want to eat some Asperger's? Like, what kind of joke is that? Like, what's wrong? And I was like, oh wait, that's a condition.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
With the amount of shit in that movie, like, I'm surprised they didn't make the kids do like fucking Fortnite dances when they were like when they were insulting them. They do that little like pump kick thing away out the door, or like how when they were planning to pull the fire alarm, how one of them like touched it and then he like was kidding. He's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do it," and then he just fucking does it. It was like a second, like.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
I hated the whole dog.
The whole dog.
Oh
thing.
yeah.
It
Yeah,
didn't
Predator
make
dog.
Yeah, like the dog just was there for like, oh shit, we don't know how to get this person out of this situation. Predator, yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's why they had that scene in the beginning with Olivia Munn just to explain how she loves dogs, so they could establish that's why she's been able to communicate with the predator dogs. Yeah, but they cut that out, so it doesn't make any sense.
Remember when they like the dogs were first introduced and they like off one of the dogs by shooting it in the head and they shoot the other one in the head, but it just like stumbles away. It's not
Yeah,
dead.
lobotomized.
And they just leave it. Like,
No, yeah.
like
Yeah.
what the fuck? Just kill it.
I have a question. Do you guys remember the scene where they're leaving the school? Is it the
Uh-huh.
schoolyard, right? After the mega predator comes in?
Mhm.
Do you guys remember that one cut where it's the
The
regular
pit bull?
dog,
The pit bull, yeah,
the
and
pit
it's
bull,
running
like,
towards the car.
charging all hard, and then it cuts away and you never fucking see
Yeah,
that
you never
dog
see the
again?
dog again. Yeah,
Oh, shit.
I remember talking to my friends. I'm like, did the dog die? Like, what happened? And it's never seen again throughout the movie.
And you know.
The fucking stunts were funny too. Like I remember in that scene, like when they were fighting the dogs on the baseball field, the dude who is driving the police car, like he drives and he doesn't like drive and stop, you know? He just drives and fucking ditches out from the driver's side and
Yeah.
shoots. I'm like, why would you do that? Just park it and hide behind it.
yeah, and also another thing, like before the predator dogs were like disabled or whatnot, the dude just walks up behind it and shoots it in the head with the nail gun, and it's like, yeah, these things are like super trained to hunt people, and like this mega predator's using them to help him hunt. Yet someone could just walk up behind it all nonchalant and just shoot it. Like,
They never even moved. They just stood
yeah,
there.
they just stood there. Like even when they were shooting it, it was just like, rah, rah,
yeah.
rah, rah. Like they had the same animation for it, and they're just like, well, fuck. I mean, this can easily kill everyone, but we can't have that. So
they gotta live
It'll
until
just,
the third act.
It'll just stand there and they'll shoot it.
yeah,
You know, that works.
Yeah, that's it. It was fucking dumb. Like,
It's pretty bad.
and also when they were escaping the compound, how the dude was like, "Get to the choppers," and then they
the
get
bunch of motorcycles.
yeah, they get to the motorcycles, and then after that they go to this hotel, right? And then after a while they go to the main dude's house to like save his son, and all of a sudden they just have an RV for no reason.
Yeah.
It's just there, like.
And there's a gun in the refrigerator for some reason.
Yeah, they like walked into the RV, and I was like, "Where the fuck did this come from?" I guess they just got it when they left the hotel.
Yeah.
You know, it was ridiculous.
My favorite part is the ending.
Oh my
where
god!
they get like an anime predator suit, like
Yeah,
some Gundam looking suit.
I was legitimately worried when that went on the guy that there was going to be like 40 more minutes of the movie. Like, I was so done at that point. I wanted to, and then at the very end when he's like, "I'm gonna need that at 42 long," I was like, "Oh!" and then it goes credits. I just stormed out.
I like how they
Yeah.
gave that kid the fucking desk job
It's like,
too.
I'll tell your mom, and then he's like, "That's my new suit, buckaroo."
like Jimmy Neutron now.
Yeah.
Like, what the?
Blast!
Yeah.
Rain blast! He fucking fixes the predator.
There's that
shit.
chair spin where he's leaning on it like.
Explain to them what. So
Wow.
crazy.
Alex just fell out of his chair.
Yeah, so,
Alex just broke the chair.
I
Yeah.
called it too.
Wow.
I'm gonna sit right here.
Well, it looks like I lost a chair.
Get the stool or
Yeah.
something. Here,
Yeah,
take the
yeah,
stool
get one
and
of
just
those
come back.
Party foul.
It's fine.
That's some
It's a
some
stool.
yours?
It's a stool.
I'll sit on one of these boxes.
This is,
I'll just sit on my knees.
Yeah.
Do you want
These are just some day one kinks, you know. We're working out.
Yeah.
That's funny.
We're funded by Disney.
But anyway, like, what do you guys think was going to be in that pod? Like, me, honestly, I thought Arnold was going to
Yeah.
come out of there. I thought maybe Ripley would come out of there.
No,
I was thinking the
You know,
alien, maybe.
yeah.
maybe like a female predator.
Yeah.
Or maybe I thought it was going to be like one of the xenomorph eggs
Yeah.
or something. But like an Iron Man suit, I didn't
Well,
Yeah.
even suspect that.
when they showed it and they said, when they deciphered whatever, and they said,
The predator
stop,
killer.
predator killer. I'm like, please no alien, please no xenomorph. Like, I don't want that shit. And then I'm like, wait a minute, it's gonna be Arnold. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's what I thought. I
And
was
then they pull out like a fucking metal block. I'm like, what the hell? And I see it transform. I'm like, oh please.
like, by the time the movie ended, I was like, dude, I'd be happy if it was either the xenomorph or Arnold. Like, just imagine, like, the fucking
If Arnold came
the
out,
predator killer, fucking Arnold comes out. He's
he's
like,
just got the shades on. He's like,
yeah.
Okay, so
I'm here to kill the predator.
So two things. One, the xenomorphs are canon in this series because when they went into the science center, the spear from Alien vs. Predator that chick made out of the alien tail, the xenomorph tail, it was there, and that's why everyone was like, "Oh!" So yeah, that's why they zoomed in on it. And I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And then I had to have someone explain it to me, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, right." But in the original ending, after they defeat the Mega Predator, there was a scene where this chopper comes, this helicopter, and it lands next to the three of them.
Right.
And Arnold comes out, and he's this disheveled old guy, and he's like, "Come with me if you want to live," or like he says something along those lines, and it's just like, that's where the movie ends.
Is that real?
Yeah, that was the original thing, but Arnold said no because it was too small of a part. One, and two, he was doing Terminator 6 or whatever. Terminator.
come
Yeah,
on,
so-
Arnold, can't you make an exception?
You know what was weird in that movie too with Olivia Munn was when they picked her up and they were in the car, they were showing her the spaceship and invisible stuff. They're like, "Do you know what this is?" She's like, "It's aliens," and you're like, "Yep." And then they go to the I don't know if that's what he said, but it might as well have been. But they go to the place, right? And they're going down, and the only joke that I liked in that whole movie was when they're going down, this nerd dude says, "Oh, the walls are getting taller," and then the FBI agent or whatever is like every fucking time. I thought that was
'cause it's like
legitimately funny.
the haunted mansion when he goes down. It's like, are the walls stretching or is
Yeah.
it just your imagination?
Yeah, I thought that was legitimately funny when he said that. Other than that, it was just funny because it was bad. But anyways, back to the main point. So she says, yes, those are aliens, right, in the car. And as soon as they get down there, she, like, sees the text. She's like, this is alien stuff? Like, if she had to be told twice, like, she already knew that they were doing alien shit by the time they got there.
Yeah, there's a lot of questionable decisions made, I think.
I don't know why the Predator stopped when she was like in fetal position naked.
It's because they don't...
She didn't prove a threat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she didn't have any weapons, and it's either you prove a threat or you're challenged.
Oh,
so
yeah,
they
yeah.
could hunt you.
So let's talk about that for a second. This fucking Predator, he comes to Earth to give us a predator-killing machine. Yet, immediately off the ship, he's killing the army guys. He's killing everyone when he wakes up instead of just saying, hey, bros, I brought this shit for you.
Wait. Did he bring it for the humans?
Yes.
Yeah.
He brought it for the human race so that they could fight against the bad predators that were coming to destroy Earth.
Wait. That means that Predator was a good guy.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's why
that
the super predator was down here.
That
Yeah.
Predator was a good guy.
But that Predator was just...
He killed all
Yeah.
kinds of
He
people.
didn't show any sort of, like...
Right.
Yeah.
What?
Right. Exactly. Like,
Why?
what kind of plot hole is that?
Oh.
Or I don't know. Maybe like how they were talking about the champion. Maybe he was looking for the champion. I don't know.
Well, wasn't the champion the kid with Asperger's?
Yeah.
The next evolution.
Jesus. Yeah, dude, like...
We didn't even talk about the super predator.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
dead.
yes. Oh my god, that was...
Shut the fuck up.
Best part of the movie. Literally, what's your problem? Shut the fuck up. Greatest scene in the movie. The best ending to a movie ever. If they left it at his head exploding,
Like
that would have been great.
Like he walks over all slowly, like it's gonna be a heartfelt moment where the Predator's like, you know, saying something to him, but then he's just like, shut the fuck up, and he just just unloads on its face.
Why the fuck ask him a question and let him like almost answer it? There's no
When he asked it,
kill him.
I was like, oh shoot, he's gonna speak like English or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I'm like, fuck, because I was waiting, and he's like, shut the fuck up, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it was
That's
so
good.
great. That's when I decided, I'm like, this is the best fucking movie of the year. Like, I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
That was so ridiculous, and I like how the kid with Asperger's, like, he instantly like knew how to figure out the predator tech for some reason.
Yeah, no, he just like looks at it and he's like this is the same thing as chess. And he can just read this. He can read this language that he's never seen before.
Yeah,
Just
He's just
like
Rain Man.
he's just like Rain Man with alien technology.
Rain Man met E.T.
Right.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit of a plot hole, but
It's a lot of a plot hole. The
but
whole
hey,
movie is
it's
a
not as
fucking
bad as
plot
the
hole.
other plot holes. So you know we'll let it slide.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Is it-
sure.
Is it fair to say that I like it better than the Adrian Brody Predators, the one that came up before this?
Yeah.
But I enjoyed that one, like, legitimately. I didn't enjoy it because it was stupid.
No, I didn't like Topher Grayson, and like it took me out of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, Topher Grayson, like, I like him in like
That
funny
70s show.
stuff.
That
You know?
70s show, that's like
And-
the only thing he's been good
Good at.
in.
I haven't seen Black Klansman, but apparently he's really good in that
Oh
as well.
yeah, I feel like he'd be good in that one. I haven't seen that either.
But when he plays like vicious like murderers, I just can't take it seriously. Like
all I
in-
hear is Donna.
Where's Donna?
Yeah, like in Spider-Man 3, like with him as Venom, you know? So
Ooh.
dumb, dude.
My spider senses are tingly.
Yeah. Or,
Oh,
yeah, dude. And
But-
he's like, I'm gonna kill you. I poisoned you in Predators with the one with Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
Terrible,
I
terrible.
think I liked it better than AVP 2,
The second one?
the second one.
I mean,
For sure.
Those are dumb ones too, but
oh,
This is the first Predator movie where a Predator didn't bitch out and do his little bomb thing.
Oh, that's
Like, I thought that was going to happen because I hate Predators because they're always like, but
Beep, beep.
you lost.
And
Like, yeah, I died, but...
You guys are all dead too. Yeah,
But,
they
it
always
was the
do
first time that didn't use it, so I was actually okay with
Did
it.
they use it in the Adrian Brody one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
They always do. Like that they did it in like the original Alien vs Predator. They did it in. Didn't they do it in the original Predator movie?
Oh
Yeah, the original
Yeah.
Predator, and then
And then-
Arnold had to run away, and then that's when he was laughing like
Yeah.
a person.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did it in Predators 2, I think. The AVP. They didn't do it in Alien vs Predator Requiem because that's when they just dropped the bomb on them anyways, like the
Mhm.
nuclear bomb.
Mm.
One thing that bothered me, but it's probably in the other movies too, but when they go like stealth, like you can't see him. But in this one,
You can
You
kind of see
can.
him.
And it
this
was
one like not even kind of like they knew where he was.
Yeah, it
like
looks
shimmering.
like the
It was-
invisibility cloak from Halo 3.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
bad CGI too. Like it wasn't even decent, like
No.
to where it was in the original Predator.
Yeah.
Like it was just flat out bad.
I was like, why are you even in cloak? Like they all see you. They're all turning around like, oh my god, and then he's shooting. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how do you know?
What's the
It's
point?
lost its purpose
Yeah.
entirely. Also, they in this one, like, they didn't do the thing where if there's a bunch of fire around them, they can't like detect you. They didn't do that at all in this.
Oh,
Like
with the
mud.
with the thermal.
Yeah,
They didn't,
yeah,
they
that's
didn't even
weird.
do the thermal vision once.
No, they did it once.
Oh, wait,
like,
they did do it
They did it a
once?
few times.
In the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh right.
But
right.
like they
But it
didn't.
wasn't like later on they stopped.
No, yeah,
and then
yeah.
at the very end with the Super Predator, he used it.
He did.
Yeah.
Like with a lot of things, it kind of fizzled out.
I was-
Like the kid with the Jacob Tremblay, like when he did the ear thing, when he's like, like yeah, because like the sound of a dog would set him off. But again, going back to that scene where they're fighting the Predadogs, and they're shooting fucking M4s and whatever the fuck. He's not at all doing that ear thing. He's just like, this is okay.
Yeah.
They're shooting the dogs. And then also, another thing that was like, this is like really nitpicky, but when they were at the farm, there's a helicopter that was coming with all the guys on it. He's like, it's an AC-130. An AC-130 is a fucking plane.
Like a bomber, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a commercial, like, fucking helicopter,
Like,
dude.
no one's gonna know.
Yeah.
It sounds military-esque.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
So there was this thing during that part where so in the beginning of the movie when the guy's in Mexico or whatever and he puts all the stuff in the bag and he tells the guy, oh, you need to send this away. He has a little invisibility cloak thing.
Right.
And he eats it, right? So later in the movie, right after this barn scene, he's like, man, like you hear that stomach grumbling and everything, and he's like, oh man. And then the next scene, the transition is the toilet flushing. He comes out of the trailer, and then he's gearing up, and I'm like, what the fuck? Did they just use him going to the bathroom as a transition? I'm like, maybe they'll elaborate on that. And then the helicopter comes with all the crazy guys, and then they just go. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? And then later, he's invisible. So he must have gotten that thing out. And I was thinking, oh, well, they used that as a transition, just him going to the bathroom. But they didn't even, like, it was literally just a flush. It was like a gurgle and a flush, and that was it. That was all they tell you. They didn't even go, like, I got this. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
But at least it was in the movie. You know, there was
well,
something.
didn't he lose it like in the forest?
Yeah, yeah.
And then Olivia Munn like
found it or something?
ran
Yeah.
really fucking fast to follow the ship,
Yeah.
and then she found it somehow in the forest at night. I was
Yeah.
like, when that happened, I was like, what the?
How'd she
They
end
were
up with this?
flying.
Yeah.
yeah.
Did it change to daytime during that scene too?
Yes,
Yeah.
it did.
Yeah.
No one noticed.
Yeah. Like I'm just like thinking about it now. It turned to daytime.
Like, remember they're like on the ship. It's completely daytime.
Yeah.
It was like midnight.
Not even morning.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's midday.
Yeah, it was really weird. I was like, wait.
Maybe a lot of time went by and we just didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like back to the shield thing that you're talking about, where he started bleeding from the mouth. Like, if that shield like gave him or like enhanced his cancer, then the dude on the inside, the main dude, should be dead.
Well, the
he
thing
he
is,
slid down it and
Oh,
into the
yeah.
ship.
That's a good point. Never mind. I redact what I was gonna say.
Also, when he's hanging from the ship, like he's tied around on his foot, and then he like drops like 100 feet into the forest.
Yeah.
And like survives. His leg would be totally fucking broken.
That's not
It'd
like
be disconnect.
like
That is important.
That bothered me too.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, compared to like the other things though.
Yeah, sure, it's not high on the list, but it's just another thing that's just like, what the fuck? Okay.
It makes like movie sense.
I guess, but
You know.
still, it's just, I know it's more nitpicky, but still. You
With the gauntlet from the beginning that the main guy finds,
know. Right.
didn't it feel like in the beginning that like he was gonna just have that gauntlet on at that point in the movie, like throughout the whole movie, and he'd like find out, you know, it'd be like one of those movies where he finds out it has new abilities and he'd use it against the Predator kind of thing. Did anybody else get that impression, or was that just
totally,
yeah.
totally.
like remember there's that scene when he's like going to that it's like that Mexican what was he, like a shopkeeper or something? Yeah, like, and he like has the stuff to like mail, like.
Yeah.
I was like confused because I couldn't like tell if he was wearing it or not.
So wait, what? So the thing that the mega predator or the big predator was after was the gauntlet thing that he sent to Earth, right? The
Yeah.
good predator?
Yes.
Okay, so why was he trying to find that little device in the beginning
Because it was just their.
on the wrist?
I think it was just because it's their technology and they don't want to lose track of any other stuff. That's. I mean, that's the best.
Well, didn't he put it into the ship, and that's like it kind of like turned on the ship or something like that?
I don't remember.
He did something with it.
They never really explained what it did. It did a lot of things, but it did a lot of other things.
Remember how the gauntlet like shot off a in the beginning when he had the gauntlet, he shot off the little
Like a plasma.
not plasma
The
thing.
blade?
Yeah, the blade thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it never came back, but for some reason they have it in the third act.
Oh,
and they just throw
And
it.
he's like, it's Predator technology. Catch it.
Yeah, it comes
like,
back. It didn't come back in the first act. Why is it coming back now?
Plus, like, who would think that's a good idea?
Yeah.
To catch a Predator blade
Yeah, he just fucking cuts his arm off.
or his hand.
Yeah,
That's like
why-
one of the few times you see it too.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense whatsoever.
Didn't use a lot of weapons, huh? The Predator. He picked up the machine gun in the
Did he?
when he was busting out of the lab.
Mm-hmm.
He was like just swinging it, just like holding the trigger.
Oh,
Yeah, it
that?
looked like a scene from Planet of the Apes where he's just like,
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
He picked the machine gun, he just held the trigger, and he was just swinging it.
Stupid.
Put it out.
Yeah.
What happened to all the scientists other than the ones who died in there? I know that one dude was stabbed. Did he die? They didn't really elaborate on that either.
no one cares.
Not important.
No one cares. Yeah, that's it.
That was the whole fucking theme of the
I
movie.
think that was their mantra when they were making it.
No
Nobody cares.
one cares. No
Nobody
one cares. Yeah, when I saw the first trailer for this movie, I was like, this is going to be bad, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad.
No, like, I went into this movie thinking it was going to be, like, okay, like, as a movie, you know.
Like a general just
Like, I
action
thought it would be
movie.
like, oh, you know, it'll be fine. But then I came out of it like, how can it be that bad? Like,
Yeah.
how?
Yeah.
I don't...
Yeah, they
When-
didn't care.
At a point into the movie when they were doing like the bus introductions, I was so annoyed by it. I was like, can this end now? Like, can this movie be over? I want it to be done.
Yeah.
But then, granted, if it did end, we wouldn't have gotten great things such as the sunglasses part, the shut the fuck up part, and then just the main plot of
Just the whole
predators.
thing. It was
Predators
so
want to
good.
give themselves
It was great.
Asperger's.
It's so bad that it's.
Yeah.
This movie, I think, you know, it had a reason for being made, and may not be the correct reason, but you know, it's a good reason nonetheless.
What's that reason?
Just to shit on it.
Yep.
To start the podcast. This is a great first movie to review. I'm gonna give it that, at least.
Actually, I wanted to mention like one more thing. I think so. You guys know who Edward James Olmos is, right?
No.
No.
Oh,
He's in Blade Runner. He's the guy that is like second to Harrison Ford's character. He makes all those the origami things.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know.
So he was supposed to be in this movie as like the main bad guy, but all of his scenes were cut out, and they just left it to the other guy, the sunglasses Black Panther dude.
Why?
So I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the little tinfoil unicorn.
It was a unicorn,
yeah. I was like, is that a Blade Runner reference?
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
And it was in there because Edward James Olmos was in the movie, and it was a reference to his making the little origami things.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? So I looked that up, and I'm like, okay, so I was right. That's a nod to that.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, is that a Blade Runner reference? I was like, no fucking way it is. There's no fucking possible way. But now that you told me that,
yeah, think about it, because if Predator takes the same place as Alien, and Alien is technically part of the Blade Runner universe.
It is?
Yeah, that's what Ridley Scott said.
Okay.
But Ridley Scott's a fucking a-hole, and I will always say that because of Alien Covenant. I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, he came out recently and said, yeah, Alien and Blade Runner is the same thing. It's the same universe.
Well, same universe.
Do that.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I can definitely see it though.
He directed those movies, so
Yeah.
he can say it.
I mean, but I can see it though. Like in Blade Runner, you have flying cars. You still have guns with bullets, and in Alien they have a spaceship, and then they just use regular bullets. So obviously, those are very two simple examples. But yeah, I can see it being in the same. In the same universe, at least.
Spectrum.
Yeah, it's definitely on a spectrum.
Yeah, spectrum.
All right. Well, I think it's a good time to wrap it up for our very first episode here at Second Run Reels. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and listening. I hope you enjoyed. And I'm going to go ahead and say good night.
Adios.
Bye.
Later.
All right. Have a good night, everyone. Day or good day wherever and whenever you're listening. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.